Hello and welcome to my channel, Exceedingly Good Reviews. This is my thoughts on video. My thoughts on Monday Night Raw from November 16th. Last night's Monday Night Raw. Yes, the last Raw before Survivor Series. The final build, the final hype for Survivor Series. We open the show with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre opens the show. Can't wait to finally Claymore kick Randy Orton's head clean off his shoulders and go on to Survivor Series and do the same to Roman Reigns. Still says he's going to Survivor Series to take on Roman Reigns and take him down a peg or two, I'm guessing. Orton interrupts this on the screen. Says he's the greatest wrestler ever and he's going to prove it. As Drew leaves the ring, or starts to get out of the ring, The Miz and Morrison appear. They come out saying that they'll be front row for the WWE title match later on in the night. And they tease maybe Miz cashing in that briefcase. It might not be Drew going to Survivor Series with the WWE title. It might be the A-list superstar. Okay, we then see backstage Lana interacting with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. There's a 6-woman tag match coming up, and she says that she wants to prove herself to Nia and Shayna that she can be a productive member, a useful member to Team Raw at Survivor Series. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are like, yeah, whatever. We don't believe you. We don't want you part of the team, Scram. So our first match of the night is that 6-woman tag match. It's Lana with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, the women's tag team champions Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, teaming with Lana to take on the team of the Raw Women's Champion Asuka, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooks. So much dissension between the members of these teams. Anyway, straight from the start, Shayna tags herself in. Lana's in the ring. She looks like she wants to get the match started. Shayna tags in. Lana, you get out. You're not allowed in this match. You're not going to be a part of this match. Booger off. Mandy Rose gets injured by Shayna Baszler, injuring her shoulder. Is it a legit injury or is it a storyline injury? I don't know. I'm assuming it's storyline. Lana eventually does tag herself in when Shayna looks like she's going to get the Kimura lock on one of the opponents and get them to tap out. Lana tags herself in. It's like, what are you doing? Why have you tagged yourself in now? Lana just ends up getting stuck in the Asuka lock and she taps out. So Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler and Lana lost because of Lana. Oh, poor Lana. You know what's coming next. For the 9th time, Lana gets put through the announce desk by Nia Jax. Poor Lana. We see the Raw men's team for the Survivor Series Raw men's team at the back, all interacting, arguing with each other. AJ has them in a match tonight. He's booked them in a match against Retribution in an attempt to get a bit of unity between these members. Dana is backstage. She's going to give an update on Mandy Rose, saying it doesn't look good, and then she's attacked by Reckoning, formerly Mia Yim in NXT. She attacks Dana Brooks, apparently injuring her, taking her out of the match. We got our Firefly Funhouse segment. These are always fun. Love these. Bray Wyatt, he wants a match against The Miz. He wants to teach The Miz a lesson, but he needs to get ready for their match tonight. So there's a few little segments of agility and whatnot and spelling for some reason. How do you spell jackass? You spell jackass M-I-Z. Miz. That was quite funny. So that made me chuckle. So they've got a match later on in the night. The Miz and Bray Wyatt. Ooh, yay. We get our second match of the night though. It's the New Day defending the Raw Tag Team titles against the Hurt Business. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin representing the Hurt Business. MVP at ringside. This is a very fun match, very exciting match. Everyone gets offensive. Lots of near falls, lots of fast-paced action. Cedric Alexander bouncing off the ropes, diving through, hitting you, hitting him, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, Xavier, they hit the Daybreak. Kofi and Xavier hit the Daybreak, and Xavier pinned Cedric to win the match. This was an absolute great match. This was a belter of a match. But was it my belter of the night? Who knows? You'll find out later. But yeah, this was an absolute great match. Well worth a watch. So the New Day retain, and they will be going to Survivor Series to take on the Street Profits. Sheamus is backstage. He calls Drew over. He's got the family chest or something, the McIntyre family chest. It's got the kilt in, a couple of other little bits. And as Drew turns, he presents him with the sword, the McIntyre sword, I'm guessing. Okay, that was a heartwarming moment there between these two Celtic warriors and whatnot. But hey, okay, we'll see what comes of this. Third match of the night: Braun Strowman, Keith Lee, Riddle, and Sheamus, for the members for the Survivor Series Raw team. The four members: AJ Styles, he's on commentary. They'll be taking on Retribution, Mace, T-Bar, Slapjack, and Mustafa Ali. Yeah, this match actually really does impress me. I wasn't expecting much. I'm not at the least bit interested in Retribution at all. Before this match, they cut a promo. I could have fallen asleep for it. I can't. I don't care about Retribution, and that's WWE's fault. WWE have conditioned me not to care for Retribution. But this, I have to say, was a fun match. It was quite fun. You see during the match the friction between the team members. Sheamus and Braun Strowman especially, they do not get on. They do not want to be tag team partners. They do not want to be on the same team. And obviously that all ends up playing into the finish. Team Raw's arguing to keep tagging each other in rather than waiting to be tagged. They just tag themselves in, doing a blind tag. It ends up that Riddle's in the ring. Mustafa Ali shoves him into everyone, knocking everyone off the ring ropes, and rolls Riddle up to pin him. So Retribution get the win here. It's a big win for Retribution. Still doesn't make me care about Retribution, but I like the Mustafa Ali character, so let's see where they go with that. But yeah, we knew this was going to occur. Team Raw just can't get on, but I can see at Survivor Series them finally gelling at Survivor Series. Once the match is finished at Survivor Series, then they'll probably get back to dismantling each other. But hey ho. Nikki Cross backstage. She's looking for Alexa. She wants to get Bliss away from the Fiend. But then her interviewer, after she's interviewed Nikki Cross, notices Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's taking down all these notices. Someone's posted notices of, do you have any information about Jeff Hardy running down Elias from a few months ago? Thought that was dead and buried, but clearly not the whole Elias thing. Advert break when we get back. Elias is playing around on his guitar, and Jeff Hardy comes in and threatens him. He said, it wasn't me. Leave it. Forget about it. It just wasn't me. Stop blaming me for this. Okay. Fourth match of the night. The Miz taking on Bray Wyatt. The Miz and Bray Wyatt. Now this was an okay match. I did quite enjoy it. I like The Miz. I love Bray Wyatt. I love the fact that Bray Wyatt can have matches, or The Fiend can have matches. I like that it was Bray Wyatt here. It's what occurred at the beginning. So, The Miz doesn't want the match. He's on the mic. He says he doesn't want the match. He thinks they should work together. Out comes Alexa Bliss. Alexa with new twisted theme music. It's her music, but twisted to sound a bit more fiendish. Nikki comes out to reason with her, but Alexa attacks her instead. They're separated by Adam Pearce and some other officials. And out comes Bray. Bray gives a dirty look to Nikki, but then smiles at Alexa, and Alexa and Bray Wyatt come down to the ring. So, yeah, Alexa, she's made her decision, Nikki. Deal with it. So we get our match. Bray ends up hitting the Sister Abigail on The Miz to win the match. Okay. But what happens during the match? As Morrison's trying to get involved, Alexa leaps and takes out John Morrison, sending him flying over the barricade. She's like one of those spider monkeys that you see on these animal documentaries, flying through the air, legs and arms outstretched, and grabbing hold of John Morrison and sending him flying over the barricades. That was quite fun. And when the match is over, who slowly appears with a smile on her face? It's Alexa Bliss smiling at Bray after he's won the match. So as they're walking up the ramp, the Fiend's lighting hits and images of the Fiend appears, and they kind of stop and go into a little bit of a trance, and then the lights go out. Woo! We get a great video package hyping the main event, the WWE title match. WWE are always great at doing these video packages. They can make anything look great. They can make... so give me two jobbers from history. I can't think off the top of my head now. But yeah, they can make anyone look fantastic in these video packages, and they get you hyped for the main event. We get told that Mandy Rhodes and Dana Brooks are not going to be medically cleared in time for Survivor Series, so they can't be a part of the Survivor Series Raw women's team. So they've been replaced, Adam Pearce announces, by Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce. Little interaction between Peyton Royce, Lacey Evans, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler backstage, but hey ho, still more dissension between that team as well. We get another Angel Garza promo going on about how all these ladies are roses and roses are protected by thorns. I will be your thorn, you will be my rose. I don't really care, but I like Angel Garza, but I don't like this whole ladies man, you're my rose, I'm your thorn gimmick. And then we get our main event. Main event time! The 5th match. Oh my lord. What a match this was. I'm just looking at it and thinking, my lord. Drew McIntyre taking on Randy Orton. Now, I'm fed up of how many times these two have competed against each other, but at the same time, they do put on good matches, so it's like, you know, it's a double-edged sword. No pun intended, with Drew McIntyre coming down with a sword. So, yeah. This is WrestleMania-worthy match, as we keep getting announced by the commentary team. This is a WrestleMania-worthy match. Yes, we know, but we've seen it on multiple shows already. So how can it be WrestleMania-worthy when we've already had it like 5-6 times, you know, at all the other pay-per-views and on other episodes of Raw? Drew comes out, like I said, with his family kill and the sword, slamming the sword into the stage and setting off fireworks and pyro and whatnot. That was great. To be fair, it does have a big fight feel, this match. Orton attempts to get counted out in the match. When Orton comes out, he seems a bit reluctant. When Drew's getting on top, he tries to get himself counted out. Adam Pearce comes out before this can happen and says, no, you're not getting out of the match this way, Randy. This match is now going to be made into a no disqualification and no count out match. When we come back, Orton's taking full advantage of this no DQ, no count out stipulation. He seems to be getting on top, getting the weapons out, getting chairs and whatnot, setting up a table, slamming Drew McIntyre, into the announcer's desk. Not once, not twice. He goes for a third one, gets countered. Drew does it a couple times to Randy Orton instead. This is getting good. Orton starts to use the chair to attack Drew McIntyre's ribs, attacking the injured jaw. You know, like I said, it looks like Randy Orton's getting on top. But when Drew does finally start to get the offensive, finally gets on top, he puts Randy Orton through the announcer's through a table that Randy Orton set up. Drew puts Orton through it. Drew eventually hits a Claymore kick. He goes for it several times during the match and fails to hit it. Always Orton gets out of the way, but not this time. He hits the Claymore kick and pins Randy Orton. Drew McIntyre is your new WWE champion. Drew McIntyre is going to Survivor Series to take on Roman Reigns. The Miz never came out to cash in. Obviously, The Miz, he'd been taken out early on in the night by Bray Wyatt. Why he brought up Bray Wyatt in his promo earlier, which angered Bray Wyatt, which set up the match with Bray Wyatt, which ended up taking The Miz out of the equation. So, could we get... The Miz didn't have a match at Survivor Series. Could we get a cash-in at Survivor Series? That would be what I'd want to see. Roman Reigns either beating Drew McIntyre or losing, but then beating down Drew McIntyre, and The Miz coming out and cashing in, and The Miz winning the WWE title at Survivor Series. Now, that would be a great little moment. So, yeah, there you go. A 3-hour show and only 5 matches. Yeah, okay. That was a bit disappointing in the number of matches that you get on a 3-hour show, only 5 matches. But hello, these matches were great matches. Like I said, The Miz and Bray Wyatt, that was an okay match, but I like both those characters anyway, so, you know, in that sense, it was good. The Retribution match, I was not excited for that, but I did enjoy it. The tag team title match, that was a belter. The main event was a belter. You got the women's match at the beginning of the night, setting up what would occur later on in the night with Dana Brooks and Mandy Rose being taken out of the team and replaced. So I've got to give this a great show. This was a great show. And my belt of the night, it's between the 2 title matches that were on the night. And I'm going to have to give it, I was going to give it to the tag title match. However, I love a title change. I'm a proud UK citizen, and Drew McIntyre being Scottish, Scotland is still part of the UK at this point, although I don't think they want to be. So I've got to say, yeah, that's got to be my belt of the night, because there was a title change. It was even Stevens between the 2 title matches, but the title change sways it for me. My belt of the night, Drew McIntyre winning the WWE title from Randy Orton. So those are my thoughts on Raw. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Like this video, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, stay tuned for more content. I want to say a great big thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and stay classy.